When building a base, one of the most important things to check are the permissions. Permissions can be set on literally every single box: water storage, your vehicles, doors, and most important, your thief console. Setting your permissions incorrectly can lead to randoms entering your base, stealing valuable goods, maybe even taking over your base. This is what to talk about today, so welcome into another quick tutorial video. Well, let's see how much time we need. This time about permissions in Dune Awakening. At the end of this video, we'll also explain a practical case one of our guild members had with an unknown person entering her base and how we found out where he had access to and how we got rid of him. Setting permissions is, however, relatively easy. Whatever you place down, let's take a storage crate, allows you to hold F to manage the item. In this case, head to General Settings and the access level, allowing you to define who is having access to this crate. Set it to access level owner if this crate contains something that only belongs to you, or for example to access level public if this is a charity crate. Set it to guild if you want to offer supplies for your guild. Associates only for a certain group of people, which I'll come to a little later. Same thing with the water storage containers. However, setting one water storage to public will enable randoms to just completely drain your entire water network, so use this with a little care. Doors is similar. The access level you set defines who can open a door and enter. The access level you set will also be displayed as a hologram in front of each door or pentashield. That would be 1 for owner, 2 for co-owner, 3 for associate, 4 for guild, and 5 for public. Little remark on configuring pentashields: you will need to find a corner of the shield and press E to configure the shield settings. You know, consistency and such. When it comes to your thief console, things get slightly more complicated, as the console offers you a role system where you can distinguish between the owner, co-owner, and the associate. What each means is displayed on the permissions tab under role overview. This is also the earlier mentioned list of associates you can set up and is referenced by any door, crate, or whatever when set to access level 3 associate. Any person added as an associate will also see the base on their map. Little warning here, only give co-owner access to people you trust the most, as they can basically dismantle most of your base. You can also set the thief console to guild or public, but I would not recommend this at all. Hold strict control of your thief console, as this is the core of your base. Vehicle management is somewhat similar when it comes to roles. Someone wanting to drive with you needs to be at least added as an associate to the vehicle. You can find those permissions in the vehicle management when holding F. So that was a brief explanation on how permissions work on Dune Awakening. I know, very technical and probably just very dry. Now, special case from one of our guild members and maybe some little advice and warning. Sadly, there seems to be an exploit in the wild where people can add themselves to the list of associates in the thief console. Once done, they have access to crates on access level 3 and are able to steal your valuable goods, which happened to one of our guild members. What I would do is hide the console in a closed room with a door that would only give access to you as an owner, meaning level 1. However, if someone still manages to gain access to your base and something is odd, check the permissions list of your console and move any strangers. Note down their name and make screenshots, as most likely you want to report this to Funcom. Another thing to check are your vehicles and such, which sounds like a lot of work, but Dune Awakening offers a function in the social menu to view if this person has any permissions to your base or vehicles. Search for the name you noted earlier, right-click and view their assigned permissions. Remove any you don't want. So to close this video, what permissions would I set? First of all, I would lock my console behind doors, which can only be opened by myself. I would also set the doors to not automatically open. I would also do that for any doors that lead to public area. This also has the wonderful benefit that if you have a car in front of your base, they will not run into your base because the door takes some time to close automatically. Second, I would avoid the permission level guild and only add people who I really trust. I would add them manually. Depending on which guild you are playing in, you might not know who is being accepted to a member of the guild. Setting your access level open for guild might just open up things for randoms who you don't really know. And if it is not a guild base, I don't really get why you should do it. So like in everyday life or at work, only hand out permissions that are really needed. Those permissions are basically the key to your home. Okay, and that's it for today, and I hope I didn't forget anything. Feel free to comment on what you think. I think the permission system is not bad, but confusing sometimes. Make sure to hit a like and subscribe to the channel. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.